such a way to his advantage, and that's something that will certainly come with time. I don't know if this is going to be the roster moving forward, but in any case, let's actually highlight what we're seeing here, because we got Killjoy out, and it's Brax running Killjoy.
Okay, and Brax, teach me.
Today has not been Killjoy's day.
No.
if you're looking for us to be like, oh, Killjoy, overpowered, rawr, nope, not happening. But I don't know. It's hard because this agent just came out and everyone's still trying to figure it out, like what are the best use cases for it. But in any case, let's see what Brax has up his sleeve. If there's one player to make it work, it certainly could be him. Now they're going to be going for an aggressive B play here, just getting right in their face. Kohler was prepared for it, got one kill out of it, but Food was there to actually pick off the trade. Now they'll get this plant down. Wait, never mind. I stand corrected. No plant down quite yet. It's going to be Gangsta who's still going to be on this side. And there you go. So Brax is going to stop the bleeding for the time being, but it will be tagged up just quite a bit. And that is just already a rough start here, as Crashies now just has to swing all the way around. No choice but to push this one. They know exactly where he is. A few kills are out. And I like the aggression. I like the fact that they just went right for it. But credit to Gangsta for staying alive right next to those Radiant boxes and not giving them the freedom to plant on B site the way that they were initially anticipating.
What I'm excited about this matchup is we get to see EU on Omen. We saw what he can do on Brimstone. Does he play Omen in a unique way, or is it more standard stuff? How is he pairing with the team with the paranoias that are in the kit now? On the other side for Immortals, strong hold here from Gangsta. Kohler trading out his life, and then Gangsta getting two, set them up for early success. And again, it's going to be a second round bye in favor of Immortals, going up against, it looks like, a few big sheriffs coming out on the attacking side. Dicey's going to find the first kill of the round, though, as Omen already out of the picture, and Asuna is going to blindly drop AZK with the headshot.
Oh, and he sees exactly where he is. Brax is kind of stuck in that cubby. JC Stani had his buddies back there. A flawless, not only just what you see on screen, but flawless in general. They did not allow them to get control of long. They pushed them back. That one way was also brilliant too, because now if they wanted to get through that, they still had the angle. They had the information. Their options extremely limited.
Immortals now going to have to deal with some weaponry from T1, and T1 again going with a default spread. They've got three outside of B, Spike on the ground, and it looks like they're just going to set up the turret, maybe bait some early aggression out, but it's Kohler on the other side, and I mentioned his playstyle. It's safe. Very rarely is he doing those aggro plays that you saw out of some of the Sentinel players earlier today. Gangsta getting the info. They're all in mid. Calls that one out as it looks like a peek actually comes from Kohler, and Brax is there on the Killjoy, using the turret, and gets two punishes here.
Winnable opportunity now. They'll rotate and get this spike if they can actually get to it, because Brax is working site and no one's in there to be able to help him out. Finally, they'll get their Cypher to pick this spike up. The B site has been available for quite a while, but because it was so spread out, they really didn't have a clean transition over to the objective.
And as Brax, you just got to stay on that site, make sure it's still clear. Here comes the push, and Brax is going to find his fourth of the round. Okay, so Killjoy, you don't necessarily need her kit as long as you got a gun as good as Brax's.
Yeah, fair point there. Also, playing the turret for flank watch is great too, so maybe we'll see a little bit more of that being used. On attack, your turret options are limited. You don't really have much of a chance to be able to use it effectively. You just want to get as much info as you can quickly, and placing the turret in that area right next to the ticket box, it works.
Now, Goldboy, we're looking at some stats, and these are all-time history, according to Spike. T1, they have played this map 16 times in tournament settings or online competition. No other map was over double digits, so this is definitely the best in their kit. They knew they'd have to start on the attack. They're able to get their first round win in round 3. Now trying to go for back-to-back. AZK staying on this jet, trying to work with Brax, but they've both been spotted. Not just spotted, punished, as Gangsta is going to spam through the wall with the Odin Sinatra style.
Yeah, saw that one happening from a mile away. As soon as that tag came through, they had to kill that drone as soon as it came around that corner. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out for them.
Ultimate available for Brax here if he wants to lock it down. But he is in a 1 versus 4, and I think it's going to be smarter to save a little bit later.
Yeah, you have to deal with an Odin. You know you're going to be getting flanked here. There's just no room. Not even a player as great as Brax could win that one out. So Immortals clean. Once again, man, this defense has been stupendous from them. The Sova hold on B, always going to be...
How does AZK die here?
Yeah, and
you got a jet, man. Use your jet abilities.
They knew exactly where he was, right? I also think Kohler playing by button has been greatly effective for this team. He's managed to stop them a few times and dwindle numbers whenever they try and take B. And their focus really seems to be on this B side. And I think part of the reason why is, although they have a Phoenix, they have the Omen, I just don't really feel like they're comfortable to try and force any activity over by A.
Gangsta calls it out and starts the spam. 3 players, 4 players now tagged up by that Odin. Still 55 bullets left in the infinite clip.
All right, there goes the flash. They're going to try and swing this one out. Gangsta gets forced off site. Maybe the pistols could be good enough to try and stop him, but I'm a little concerned if they go through this rain of fire here.
All right, Brax is clean with the ghost.
Joke's over. You're
dead. So remember, this is a full eco round. They did not invest anything. Just a single curveball. So this is expected domination, but it's still tough to watch.
Odin is so ridiculous, man. But they know where he is now, too. Brax keeps on getting tagged. You're just like, I guess I die here, you know?
Yep. Shoot the dart immediately or you done. Getting sprayed down. Gang still holding strong at B, though. And I wonder, will we start to see more A attacks coming out of T1? Because they do not have a solution for the Sova on the other side of that wall.
No, they do not. The solution has been the die so far. And in a game like this, not really a good plan. Now they're going to focus their attention over on A, and it really just feels like at this point, T1, they are looking for an opening, anything. But the problem is that they're going to be running into Ascent and JC Stani, who have been pretty dynamic as a duo thus far, and that's the reason why. And then Dicey double updrafted up just for the additional coverage, too. Forcing him back. They know exactly what the play is going to be here. Asuna, unfortunately for him, in that paranoia state, will get picked off, and now we're going to start to see some light here for T1.
Dicey with an aggressive peek of his own. They weren't expecting that as EU is setting up his smokes. He is going to go down. So a big pick from the Jet. Dicey buying all kinds of times for the rotation. We've got Kohler now in position. And of course, Gangsta still holding it down at B with both Cypher tripwires in place.
Oh, this is such a tight angle. I mean, AZK pokes this. There's no way he gets out of it. And he's playing a little further away from the corner too, so he's just anticipating it. Oh, he's going to hold this. He's actually going to stay. He's going to stay. There it is. Yeah, they have no idea where he's going to be located, right? There was no reason for him to actually bail out of this. Even though he was going to be in the Killjoy range of the detain, it doesn't really matter, right? He's doing enough to try and delay them. Still manages to output some damage, too. That's crazy.
Again, Kohler comes through as the closer finds both shots. Gangsta's going to pick up the operator. Not much lost by Immortals. They have a full bank account right now. And you just got some big ults out of T1. But speaking of ults, you still got some loaded up. We'll see if they launch it out here in this following round. Dicey just holding the angle. AZK, no fancy movement, just a slow peek, and he is instantly dropped after some nice relocation by the Jet from Immortals.
Once again, going to be an A hit. There's that one way. And that one way slows any kind of aggression that they're going to have, right?
There's another paranoia, but this time JC Stani is going to win the battle. Crashies and food, combining with kills of their own, and here comes the run it back.
Yeah, they're going to just try and clear this one out. Issue is, though, they got to get the spike down, and I hope they have enough time to be able to place this one out. No, they do not. They do not have enough time to get that run it back out, so they will get back in there, but it's just more time that you're going to allow for Immortals for the retake.
Small details, small holes in the game that we're pointing out here, but it all comes down to these kills. Kohler, the Cypher, trying to wait for his teammates to get aggressive up top. Gangsta's going to start spamming the common holding spots here for defenders down low. And you can see that damage starting to rack up on the players from T1. Food is going to get a kill on Kohler, though. So they've got an out, and Food is just looking for all the picks on his own. You spam me, I'll pull out a classic and jump shot you, bro.
Yeah, and funny enough, you know, we're getting the tags of what these rounds are, right? The flawless for everyone staying alive, the thrifty. But that really was also just a very thrifty round because of the way things had kind of crumbled when they ran it back with the Phoenix, with the Spike. And then that going back, you know, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, right? They ended up winning it, which is the most important part of this. They stopped the bleeding.
Yeah, winning that round is enormous for T1.
But it just gives me a little cause for the pause here. Like, do you really want to just continue to have food hold that Spike in those kinds of instances when you know that he's going to be that one just charging straight ahead? Now AZK, though, looking to get a cheeky angle up on top of one of those boxes, looking down mid. Mid not really being a factor in this matchup. And I think this was a really smart play there from T1. Boy. Yeah, that was great. Like, Food just, he crept up. That's why he actually bailed from holding that Spike, too. Because if he had that Spike and he crept up and he ended up dying, that gave them a lot of information.
Food with all 3 kills to open this round. The entry fragger playing his role perfectly. Now Kohler playing deep. Nice punish on Crashies. Taking his time. Gangsta's going to punish Food in the middle of the map as T1 gets a little too aggro after the plant.
Oh, that's scary.
And info has been gained. They know you're going to be there, and he decides to peek. Kohler, 2 kills already, looking for a third. Gangsta already with a kill this round.
Both players did, but they do not have a clean way to try and get inside of there, and AZK punishes him. Despite how strong the Odin may be through walls, I mean, you're going up against an Op at that range. Op wins every time. Even though he held that angle down, he just needed time for that shot to come out. It just was not going to work out. And I also do want to say that AZK dropping back over to where Brax was, like, that was great, right? As soon as Neural Theft came out, you saw they was going to be inside of the site. Just hightail it to your teammate. Work together. Try and work the archway. Get the round win. So that's 2 in a row now for T1, Puckett, and that is going to force Immortals into an eco round. Only 1 Phantom is going to be up for grabs here.
AZK also starting to get more comfortable with this sniper rifle in hand. Not the best on the peaks, but once he has an angle, he holds strong. Crashy's helping out Food as Food finds his 2nd kill. A has been their favorite target, and they are executing well. AZK going to take down Dicey in the middle, so nice punish, and with 1:20 seconds left, you don't have to commit on A. You've got players on site, though, so might as well walk this one in, and it's going to be Food scooping up the Spike and making his way forward.
Yeah, and the way Food played that, he played that as a person who had the confidence, knew exactly that they were just going to be saving this, so there wasn't really much that they were going to do to try and stop the run it back from being as effective as it was. He can go through the fire and flames with no problem whatsoever. Just a overall beautifully done round there. A good use of the run it back. Kohler, they know exactly where he is now.
Just a blind wall bang. No big deal, AZK. I see you. Kohler getting hunted. Any guns he can take off would be big. No opportunities as Crashy shuts it down. So you went from a thrifty round to nearly flawless play from T1 as they start to show you this is Ascent. We're familiar with this map.
Yeah.
Let's take it to them, boys.
They're seeing a lot of success on A. They keep going back to the well, but I do fear that at some point they're going to be going to this so much that Immortals will have an effective counter. Perhaps it is going to be Dicey's waiting for them. Maybe they do not put any bodies in wine and just keep people on site. Let them try and get inside. And then let your op be the one to handle the business if they, in fact, do push this one, which it looks like it's very well going to be the case.
It's been very strange to see mid just given up by both teams. No one really prioritizing it this round. It does seem to be the plan as AZK is overlooking Food.
So
as
smart.
He is going to be making his way through tree, but the Omen is waiting. What can JC Stani do? The in-game leader knows something is up.
This is so smart here. A camera gives them some info on where positions are going to be located. But it's JC Stani on tree. He's going to start to see some action. The trade out comes in. Tree has now been won. It's all up to Dicey's here to do the job that he's been brought on this team to do. Nails the shot there against AZK. Spike is going to be caught on top of the scaffolding here.
This is perfect. You got him stuck between an op and a Phantom. And now Gangsta knows Spike's down. We can just chill, bro.
Yeah, they have no real reason to fear this position. Spike all the way in the back. So the only realistic place that they can come through is right through tree into the secret door. But, you know, I mean, you're really just going to be playing with fire here. I think that they're going to be watching that angle because they don't really have to be too concerned about anyone coming in through sight. And there's a drone, so that's basically going to end that one.
Will the Killjoy kit be put to use here as spam comes through? Down to 26 health is Brax. And there he's trying to use the nanos. 16 seconds left. He's got to go for both kills. Won't have time to get a plant off. Very weak are the opponents. There's the first, but it's an operator waiting for him on the other side. Dicey says no, as the Immortals pick up their 6th round and stop a run from T1.
I think bringing Dicey over to A site was really smart. They've been doing that a lot, right? Allowing them to be able to take control. And you asked for some middle presence as well. Like they've been putting a lot of emphasis on Gelato, like that further extremity on A site. But the spike being all the way up there does give me a little bit of pause, and I'm sure that's not how they wanted that one to go. Well done, though, by Dicey. He has certainly earned his paycheck today.
Keep your eyes on EU in this one. Just 2 and 9. He's been caught trying to set up smokes multiple times outside of A. He is the lone soldier there, playing between 2 tripwires. His teammates all stacking up at B, and Gangsta is not set up with the Odin like the past, so we could see success here if Dicey misses his first shot.
They're relying on some information being gathered from mid and A. What are they going to get? Who are they going to locate on that site, right? They need their lurkers to kind of give them some openings so that they can get a comfortable push. And while all this is going on, movement on Immortal side, maybe EU with a TP.
The lockdown was the game plan. So they've got Brax trying to lock in the B players. The teleport just a half second early, though. And that is going to be a failed attempt over at the B site, but the spike was already rotating over to A. Nice stop there by Asuna. JC Stani has his back, and Asuna is going to convert another one with the run it back.
That was just clean. It was a lot of stall. They didn't give them any information. And it's because of that I think that with the teleport coming in, like they were at this point with a TP out going all the way back to Boathouse like that, that tells me, or at least, you know, that would tell the Immortals roster that they got nothing. They're just looking for some kind of info. And then with Asuna playing inside a tree like that, it becomes that much more scary for this team to deal with.
Blind spam, earn your ult, punish with it. Kohler comes in, again the closer from the top rope. 8 and 8 for Kohler, 9 and 6 from Gangsta and JC Stani on the other side. Brax has had a decent one at 9 and 7, but the team not able to find any consistent success.
Get out of my way!
Oh, he's going to play an aggressive angle here, but he's going to get blocked off.
Double kill. You're dead. Nanos are out, so they've cleared every corner imaginable in the first 5 meters, but what else is deeper? Dicey is going to miss wide. And it's going to be 3 kills traded.
Oh, man. Ganks has been on point with those Hunter's Furies, man. Even in the last game, we were seeing him just nail those shots.
Kohler inching his way across the balcony. EU waiting for him down low. He's got Brax from Generator. And the defense just going to wait these smokes out.
Yeah, we'll see the tip of the hat from Kohler once that dark cover dissipates. Oh, he just saw it. That's all he needed. Just a little bit of information, and he was able to get from that. And also the alarm bot, he has no idea.
Hello.
So yep, the alarm bot now tells him where they need to be. Maybe the shock dart does a little bit of damage there against EU.
Quit tickling me, man.
And he's certainly doing just that, but that is the reason why Killjoy is great. Post plants, alarm bot, no one was going to be none the wiser to where that was going to be. It hasn't happened all that much because Killjoy hasn't been nearly as effective as we would have liked. But for Killjoy staying alive at that moment, getting a little bit of that information, giving them some comfort, well done.
And I got good news. Now you're on defense. Killjoy actually pretty decent in this role. Not so good on the attack with that kit, but on the defensive end, definitely can be put to use just like Cypher. In theory, can solo sites and get that information you need to react properly, but instead they're going to double up with the Cypher Killjoy combo. Ooh. And I'm excited for this one. As I say it looks like Cypher is going to be playing tree, potentially a little aggro on the defensive end as he will challenge in mid. But it's a heavy B lean early on with all 5 players from the attacking side. The Immortals trying to make their way in here in the pistol round.
Yeah, this was that was going to be brutal. And unfortunately, T1, they're going to be the ones that actually pay for that. And I believe they got info that 3 players are going to be here at B, and it is not going to be the players that they have to worry about, Cypher and Killjoy. So they're just actually going to charge right into this and benefit from it greatly. Now that just leaves the 2 Sentinels who are located on the other side of the map to try and respond to this aggression. They'll get B down. They will safely be able to plant this. And I was going to say before the round started, Puckett, that 7-5 out of the half is actually quite respectable for T1. Get a pistol, stop the anti-eco. You're back in this game. Now with the way that this happened and the fact that they decided to full send it over toward B,
youch.
That hurts.
Youch. You had your 2 Sentinel characters set up over at the wrong site. All of their utility not in position to help out. And while you do have an Omen Paranoia to maybe slow it down, maybe a Molly coming out, it is not enough to hold back the Immortals, who walked away with the first pick and then forced their way onto the site with 2 players pushing up through mid. And it looks like that may be the plan now. We feel confident in mid. We definitely feel good about our initial gunfights at short B.
I'll have a Marshall, and a Bulldog, a Phantom as well. And Dicey already has a mark on target. He's just going to go for this. I love how confident Dicey plays. He does not care. Doesn't care if it's T1, TSM, he'll just send it. He'll get any kills that he could possibly benefit from that. Brax, though, jumping through the dark covers. Some more kills, though, going in the favor of Immortals now, leaving Brax once again the LMS to try and deal with this. A shorty in a dream. But the only real play that he has is to hold tight angles. And they know this. I think they'll just play this one out slowly. You don't want to get caught off guard with a shorty. It can still ruin your day. They don't want to play also too close to one another as well as a result of that.
Small win for Brax would be to walk away with a weapon here. But how does he do that? He's got to get all the way out in middle to those red X's to find a weapon.
Well, first it's getting a ghost.
Okay, ghost first. Check.
Yeah, that's nice, right? You want the ghost.
I can shoot at range with my 3 bullets left.
He doesn't want to reload for fear that there could be a lurker nearby making the sound with the animation.
Bulldog's not bad.
I'm sure he would have wanted to. Yeah, well, yeah, Bulldog's not bad. You're right.
Again, doesn't want to reload, though, and he only has 12 bullets left in that magazine. So this could just be a gun save. Look for an exit kill if you can get it. If not, well, you can help somebody buy an operator a little bit earlier than normal.
Yeah, and this round, Immortals and Dicey most importantly, I'm going to keep talking about what he does. He opens up mid for them and never really gets T1 into, or never allows T1 to be comfortable, to the point where, you know, with a classic trap, Crashy just has to go and dive through dark cover to just try and make a play happen, you know? And it's when you're forced to make those I don't want to say reckless, but when you're forced to just make plays like that don't really benefit you, you know that you basically have that round won.
I also want to credit either Gangsta on the Sova or Kohler. Must have tagged the player to help Dicey see through those smokes, because as soon as a player walked into the dark cover, he was hit with a body shot. Dicey connecting at range, playing off of his teammates really well. He doesn't have to be the entry fragger, doesn't have to be the first in. Just work off of what you're getting. And JC Stani, as well as Asuna, doing a good job of keeping the tempo up, making it uncomfortable for T1. AZK at the start here pulls out the big boy toy. The operator does come into play, and he will find first pick.
Food does not try to stop the player picking up orb. He had no idea how many players are going to be there. I mean, even right now, he's still waiting for the cross. But they got what they wanted. They got the orb, and now they'll start to make their progress over toward tree, and maybe even mid if they can get an opening here. But the tree play is actually going to be quite smart. No one's guarding that right now. The only thing that's there is a trap wire. So it's an indicator that's good for them.
They're about to find that wire. Cage goes up. Not a problem. I'll just walk through it, but they can count heads. Remember, Food's been lurking from Wine for a while. He could come on a big backstab here.
Yeah, they have no idea that he's here either. That's the problem. No idea. And on top of that, AZK drew all of that attention by Hell, right? So they never knew that Food was there. That was very clean. Never revealed his position, and it all happened to just work out exactly the way they wanted it to.
It's a defensive comp for sure coming out of T1 with the double up of Cypher and Killjoy. Starting to pay some dividends, but I love these first picks coming from AZK. I don't want to see him take his foot off the gas pedal. He's starting to warm up with his sniper rifle, finds 3 picks in this round, and baits out the final kill for his teammates. AZK needs to stay on top of his game like he is right now. AZK needs to stay. AZK needs to stay.
There you go. You say it 5 times fast, Chris. You got it. I don't want to sound disparaging toward Jets, and I know maybe people are going to be offended by this, but I feel like a Jet that is good is okay to have so long as you have an okay Jet. And that is AZK. He's been doing the job. He's been doing exactly what they needed him to do, and that's why they're trying to claw their way back into this game.
EU just passing JC Stani in the night. Is able to get back to the defender spawn, but do they know the Omen is pushed up on the attacking side? JC Stani going to be working his way in as EU gets picked off by Asuna. They were waiting for that player to get into position, and now the pinch is perfect. Brax still holding on to this Bulldog from 2 rounds ago.
Yeah, they don't see him. Alarm bot down. Oh, and he actually pulled the crosshair down.
Gotta love the bait.
Yeah, that's it, right? That's all you really are going to be able to get out of that one, and that's perfectly fine. He's okay with that. The alarm bot did exactly what they needed. The problem is now as they get into the site, they had one player there was food. Finally, though, they will actually be able to get some players alive on the opposite side here. Watch out for the flank. That is the problem. And Kohler, he has basically this player dead to rights. It is going to be Gangsta's Hunter's Fury, though, that closes that one out. I thought that was a really splendid play there by Brax, and had Food been able to hold out just a little bit longer, T1 wins that round.
T1 gave up so much room in the middle. Food not having any curveballs on the retake really cost him. We'll see what they can do in this next round. And Crashies, what kit is he working with? Because the man is on 400 credits with a Bulldog and a half buy of armor. The team knows they got to go all in right here. Cannot give up that 11th round to the Immortals. At the start, it's AZK. Just like that, gets first pick. No Sage, of course, so no revive coming through.
Oh, but he can't tailwind out of this, so he's stuck now. They know exactly where he is. He needs a teammate to go and bail him out as soon as possible.
Oh, man.
And that is the shock dart landing perfectly on AZK. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place. He used the tailwind to disengage, ends up getting tagged, and then gets stuck there.
And we knew AZK needed help, but as soon as EU tries to peek out to assist, Kohler's just waiting. His sight trained on that corner, and he is going to find the operator pick. So it is going to be a very uphill battle for the remaining members of T1, dropping everyone in the middle of the map. What can Brax do? There's the first. Misses just wide right into the top of Asuna's head. And Asuna is going to be able to get this spike down any moment. All right, let's see if they just go for a save here. I kind of expect that to be the play out of Crashies.
Spike. It was going to be a ambitious play from Brax to try and clutch that out with 4 guns looking right at him. As soon as that first kill came out, forget the fact that Gangsta's at 46 HP. Too many targets for Brax to worry about there.
And Immortals, they're just 5-hitting sights. Nothing fancy, nothing unique, no games being played at A. They're just choosing, are we going all in A? Are we going B and working a few players up mid?
Yeah, because they take care of the threats that are present in the beginning of the rounds, right? The Phoenix as well as the Jet. Really handling AZK. And I don't really think that AZK did anything necessarily wrong there. It was just a matter of, like, Kohler had the site locked and loaded, was ready. And benefit here is that Crashies does get a few kills, will be able to build up toward Neural Theft. I believe he already had it available, but even then, though, we'll make them spend some money. It's not the end of the world, obviously, for Immortals. As they are up 11-6, they are looking fantastic and on track to close this one.
We'll say AZK's first bloods have been impressive. His exits, not so much. Would love to see a little more mobility invested in as he tries to get fancy on the ways out. That last round, he was pinned down. This time around, I do not believe he has the sniper to work with, but we'll see how they set up the Jet working with Food down long A. He does have the operator. Okay, so sniper still available on defense. Mid control is weaning, though. And we're going to see 3 players stacked up for Immortals, all trying to get behind their in-game leader, JC Stani. Wherever JC Stani goes, expect this spike to follow.
Oh my goodness. Dicey we didn't get to see it, but I was like, why is Dicey all the way over there? And he was just waiting. He had the perfect shot. I actually really want to know what angle he took, because that was all the way from spawn over toward orb.
Could have been boosted up near Gelato like we saw earlier from AZK. Here's a look though as AZK lines up the collateral.
Well, that's unfortunate. I always love to see a good collat, but the unfortunate reality there was that was all he was going to be able to get out of that. Spike is now down. A potential match point situation here for INT.
I know exactly where you are.
Yeah, Dicey's in a position to punish right here. You got your players down low playing as bait. Neural Theft is going to give you some info, but how do you deal with it? Smokes are down. Bladestorm comes out, but EU shuts down Dicey immediately, and now EU trying to be the hero. Just Gangsta standing still. And he is going to be pinned as a Spectre finds another kill. EU, who's on trial, or at least brought in to fill in for Skadoodle here.
And AZK was the hero of that round. That collat pretty much unlocked it for them. I was a little concerned because, yeah, they were able to get onto the site, but losing those two players like that, one bullet, two players down, huge value you're getting out of that, obviously.
And of course, shout out to Crashies. Investing in the ultimate. What are you saving it for? They're already on 11 points. You can't give up anymore. Let's take a look at the ults. You got 4 of them locked and loaded for T1. It's time to start getting aggressive and putting these to use. You can't just hold back and wait for the 5-man push from Immortals. That has been hurting you.
And you know what, too, actually, that last round where they had hunted down, I want to say it was Crashies who was still alive, and he got a few kills there with the op. That now put them into this position right here where T1 could actually manage to pick up another round win, but some kills are going to be traded right out of the gate as both players are going to be waiting back of sight. EU now does manage to lock down that paranoia, will land onto one target, but the problem is that those sheriff shots are going to be clean.
And this is an eco round, man. This is so disheartening if you're T1. You're like, come on, guys, we're losing the pistols, but it's
credit.
5 pistols at once, right? They're getting overwhelmed. AZK is here with the operator, but not the best retake weapon, especially here at the B. He can go up and over there with the Bladestorm, and I love this idea. As he tries it, Dicey says no. It's all up to Food with the run it back. He gets 2 tries at this.
I did not lock that kill. JC Stani was waiting for a match point for Immortals. Both ults used. That hurts. And now Hunter's Fury. Run it back. Omen teleport, neural theft, everything that you could possibly want available for Immortals, and all T1 has is the Killjoy ult to detain and lock a site.
Can we see the money, observers? Can we pull that up? Okay, so we're going to see 3 Phantoms, a Stinger on EU, and a Judge on Brax.
Yeah, this is Struggle City.
AZK with one of those Phantoms wants to get aggro. There is a quick paranoia, but a counter one comes in from JC Stani. The Immortals survive, and so will AZK.
He's going to force this run back now from Ascent. He's going to send it right into the site, see if he can get anything out of this one. Kind of loses himself a bit in the scuffle there.
In the moment.
Will be sent back. There goes the Killjoy. So now, this is going to force him back. It's going to slow things down a little bit and allow T1 to be able to move around. They have not lost anyone yet. That is the plus. That is what they have working for them. No one has fallen.
And this is a Cypher Trap Alarm Bot combo, I believe, in the middle of the map. We'll see if it causes any problems a little bit later. For now, the fights have to go down at A, and Kohler gets behind enemy lines and is causing issues. Crashies versus Kohler. Kohler drops, Crashies hold strong. Crashies trying to be a miracle worker. Last man standing. All of the hopes for T1 in this match on this man's shoulders.
Yeah, well, they know that they have all the time in the world to march on over to the B site. They're going to be perfectly fine to do that. Place that spike down and maybe even just not send both players on site, right? They can actually play across if they want. There's a lot of options that they have as far as where they want to position some of these guys. I think the reason why you're going to see this held like this is because of the fact that you have Dicey who's very low on HP, but this is match point. A winnable opportunity for Crashies for sure.
Final fight, Golden Boy. Crashies just needs 1 bullet into Dicey, and he just heard where this Omen is set up.
Oh, he got the eyes on one. Does he manage to nail the kill? He knows exactly where Dicey's going to be as well. Both players are going to be stuck inside of the boathouse. As Crashies, he has no choice but to just try and make the play happen. Goes for one.